Okay, we're getting ready for a quiz tomorrow. So turn to the last page of your notes. It'll look like this, circles and angles. Make sure you're on the front side of the page, not the back side. And we're going to look at the top row, review, and then we'll practice. And tomorrow we'll make sure you're ready. First thing I need you to do, please, is fix the typo right over here. It should be an A on this arc right here, the letter A. And look at across the top. The first thing I want you to notice is that every problem is different, and it's all about where the angle is that's going to be solved. In this case, the angle is on the center, and that has its own rule. Whenever an angle is on the center, the angle equals the arc. So they're exactly the same. The second one, though, where the angle, the vertex of the angle is, it's right on the circle. Anytime the angle falls on the circle, the rule is that the angle equals the arc divided by 2. The angle is cut in half of the arc. Okay, likewise, when you know the arc, you can divide by 2 to get the angle. When you know the angle, you can multiply by 2 because it gets bigger, and you'll have the arc. For this one, the angle is inside the circle, but not on the center. There's a rule for when the angle is inside, not the center. The rule is that the angle equals the arc sum. You're adding the two arcs together, and then you're dividing by 2. The two arcs that matter, of course, are the arcs that are surrounding that angle. This arc over here and this arc over here. They form the hourglass or the bow tie with that particular angle. And the last one is an angle that's outside the circle. Anytime you have an angle that's on the outside, you're going to subtract. Inside means you add, outside means you subtract them. It's the arc difference. That means you subtract, and then it's divided by 2. Which arcs do you work on? The ones that are inside the angle edges, the sides of the angle. So here's the angle. The arcs that are inside is this one and this one. And you always take the biggest one that's farthest away, A, minus the B. All right, so let's use those rules now to practice the next row down. This angle is on the circle. The rule is that the angle equals the arc. So X is the angle and, X is the arc. So the angle equals the arc. So if the angle is 35 degrees, then the arc is 35 degrees. In this case, the angle, the 14 degrees there, is on the circle, so we're going to follow this rule. The angle is the arc divided by 2. So in this case, you don't know the arc. You're going to have to do it the backwards way. The angle is the smallest one. The angle is always smaller than the arc. So you take your 14 and you multiply by 2 because it's getting bigger to get to the arc, and you get 28 degrees. For this one, the angle is inside the circle, but it's not on the center. So we're going to have to say that the angle equals the arc sum divided by 2. I'm going to fill that in, and I'm going to solve it this way. You'll see why later. An angle, in this case, is X. The two arcs that get multiplied together are the two arcs surrounding that X, here and here. So I just go ahead and add 42 plus 55. And then I divide by 2. You can do that all in the calculator, but still just show me the work that you're doing. 55 plus 42, and then divide by 2. You get 48.5. X equals 48.5 degrees. All right, and for the last one, it's on the outside. The X that you want out here is on the outside, so we're going to have to follow this rule. The angle equals the arc difference divided by 2. All right, well, the angle is X equals the arc difference, subtract. Always start with the biggest one, which in these cases will always be the one farthest away from the angle, 100 degrees minus the 20 degrees. Those are the two angles that are covered inside of the angle. the two arcs that are inside the sides of the angle. So it's 100 minus 20, and then you divide by 2. So that would be 80 divided by 2. You would get 40 degrees for that one. All right, review this as you need to. And your homework for tonight is to finish the bottom of that page. There's 8 problems. Just try them to review it. We'll review more tomorrow. Make sure you're ready for your test, or your quiz. I'm sorry, it's just a quiz tomorrow. But review it, try these problems, and tomorrow I'll give you the correct answers to the bottom of the page. All right, thank you. Have a good night.